Hello everybody and welcome to What's My Role? My name is Ben Marguliet and I'm your host and Dungeon Master. With me as always are our players Tom, Isaac, Nathan, and Hamish. And we're a D&D 5th edition actual play podcast recorded and produced in beautiful Hong Kong. When we last left off, the Neighborhood Watch had defeated Pith and the Grey Hands, the crime syndicate formerly in control of the Lower Hallows. But is this victory enough to make a difference in the town of Brighthallow? Will the criminals face jail time? And how will the town react when news of their victory is made public? Find out in What's My Role, Episode 4.
It is the evening after your great battle with the Grey Hand. You all went back to your homes to go to sleep, and particularly Fellerhana, just so you know, in the evening, as you wait for your husband to come back, he does not arrive.
Ooh, where's he gone?
It is the next morning. Garrett, as you wake up, you hear the sounds of Mr. G actually getting his shop open in the morning. He's arrived, and it's a little bit later in the morning for you.
Uh-oh.
I guess that battle in the evening before took a lot out of you, so a little bit of a sleeping in might have been necessary. You were up fairly late.
Mm-hmm.
And Tobin, you can hear the sounds outside of the town starting to bustle and move and things, everyone going about their day. Mr. Hanks, yesterday was a half day, but today is a work day. Do you wake up on time? Did you manage to set a way for you to wake up, or are you sleeping in today?
I wake up early, in fact, and to make sure that all of my plants are properly watered, and I'm...
Needles, yeah.
Needles, and Mr. Pibbs, my dog, and everything is just hunky-dory. Super pumped, super jazzed from last night's adventure.
I will say this, Mr. Hanks. Yesterday, during the battle, that was the first time that you have really raged out. You took some people's lives. You saved Willow Crack. You saved him. You feel like your senses possibly are more honed. You feel more aware of your physical body, and something about that possibly felt good for you. There's something nice about letting loose like that. So you go about your day and go to school, I assume.
Indeed.
Fellerhana, it is the morning. You know you should be getting up. You know it's time to go about your day. You know it's time to wake up. But you know that feeling when your body is paralyzed or just numb and it's not responding to you?
Mm-hmm.
You can't move. You can't even open your eyes. And you're stuck there in your head, knowing it's time to wake up. What do you do?
Firstly, I'll worry. This reminds me of when I was younger. I thought I'd moved past this, but I guess just Thogga has come, and I'll wait to see what she does.
There's this feeling of an immense presence in the room with you. It dwarfs your body and it dwarfs your mind as you feel connected to it. There's something about how you access your magic and how you create the effects around you of these spells. And for a brief instant, you're taken back to that moment in the battle where you let loose and summoned these tentacles to come to your rescue out of nowhere, ripping apart people and throwing them to the ground and just saving people in the process. But there was a lack of control as well. It was an area of effect. Even your friends could be hurt in that moment, and it was letting loose, even your brother. And you're waiting for what?
Waiting until she finishes her song, and she lets me leave.
There's this weird feeling of hunger as you feel this tentacle wrap around you. But for a brief moment, it's almost as if it's an embrace. As if it knew you wanted an embrace. And you hear the word, more. And you're released.
I'll look over where I think it held me, feel that burning warmth, as I'll sing what my mother taught me to whenever the darkness came for me at night, as I'll say, "Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the ash and mud, why are my hands covered in blood? Burn, burn, little dreams, why can't I just stop the screams?" And I'll get up and go about my day.
Awesome.
Our mother taught you that?
That's
You wouldn't know this kind of stuff, Tobin. It's
You remember our mom, the creepy, weird demon who told us this terrible song?
well, you're just for
She was
the
just like
listener.
me.
You're an aberrant mind
Yep.
sorcerer.
This power's in my blood.
We're gonna cut over to Garrett. Garrett, you
Yeah.
hear the sounds of Mr. G getting ready downstairs.
Yeah, I realize what time it is, and I jump out and I quickly get my clothes on, and I run out the door, still kind of trying to running my fingers through my hair, getting ready, and I run out. Oh, sorry, Mr. G, I slept in.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, use my clear dice. Ooh, that's a natural 17. 19.
19. You can hear that there's more than one person in the shop already in the morning.
Oh.
You hear the voice of two women. They sound very moneyed.
Fancy.
You know that adjective, moneyed.
Yeah.
It's not an abnormal thing.
Wait a second,
to
that sounds
hear.
like there's money.
Do
And
they
you
get
hear-
butlered?
What?
Do they get butlered?
Yeah, they get buttled.
Buttled.
Yes.
That was the verb.
You hear the sound of this discussion between Mr. G and them, and you hear some laughter. With a 19, you can hear that they're discussing the upcoming celebration
Oh,
in
great.
the town.
Yeah, I pop my head in.
Yeah, you see a woman with this lovely dark auburn hair. She's in her mid-30s, and you see another woman who is blonde and also in her late 30s. And they're discussing with Mr. G, looking at his toys and looking at the objects around as you hear him reply to them, say, "Well, I think we can help you out with that if you want us to work with the magical ornamental trinkets. Well, we'd be more than happy to do that. We could do some nice little toys or something. I have a Garrett over here. He has a real knack for creating some wonderful little things. You should see. He's a very talented boy." As he sees you enter in.
Yeah. Hey. Hi. Yeah. I've already got some great ideas on,
Yes.
on what we can do.
See, that's why he was actually working on the ideas when that's why he wasn't in the shop already, of course. Yes.
Oh, yep.
He looks at
that's
you
why
with-
I was.
Well, a kind of a knowing look.
I kind of look away. I can't keep eye contact.
Well, get along, Garrett. We have some more business to attend to with me and these lovely ladies here.
Okay. Bye. I head out the back.
And you hear the sound of some light laughter as that discussion continues. Is there anything you're going to be doing in the back?
Get to work.
Yeah.
So, apprenticing. I'm copying the designs that Mr. G has perfected over all of these years, being the master, and I'm also adding my own little things to it. So using my magical tinkering as an artificer, I make it play some little sounds or projecting a little bit of light, sort of thing. It's kind of like a music box. You open it up and it makes some little noises and things like that.
Yeah, I think for Garrett, there's a lot of surface level magic going on here. Like you're adding to the surface of the material, you're adjusting it so that it seems to act a little bit different upon surface level examination.
Yeah.
In this instant, something about the battle last night slips into your head and where you normally tap into your magic. And for a brief instant, when you're adding to this little tinker toy of a little soldier, for a brief second, a bit of, for lack of a better term, life gets infused into it for a brief second. And the soldier, instead of just making little noises as a clockwork kind of robot automaton, it turns to look at you. And it turns its head, and then it kind of bows before you, and then takes a pose.
Whoa. And Garrett kind of looks around. Did you see? Whoa. That was awesome.
And then the magic seems to fade from it, as you feel that there is possibly further depths to your artificing and magic. we cut over to Tobin.
Yeah, I think I start the day probably by writing a letter to my friends in Whitebourne, to Barnaby, the guys that I grew up in the orphanage. They had their own little adventuring pack in the big city. So I'm quite excited to share the news of what we did and quite proud that I'm finally an adventurer myself. So I write a letter to them, but then I'm very quickly reminded of the big task of getting ready for the anniversary and all the decorations that I need to do. So I start writing letters to all of our suppliers. And then I send a message over to Mr. G's shop to see if I can talk to Garrett, to see if they have anything that could help us out, because Bellis Raythorn mentioned decorations for kids.
Yeah,
And that's not our specialty.
I think as you're leaving the shop with all these messages that you're going to deliver, you do notice, because his shop is further down the main road from you. You're pretty close to the center of Bright Gardens. It's a nice prominent area for you to be displaying your wares, and you do see 2 women coming out of Mr. G's shop, having just left his shop.
Good morning, madam.
Right. You're the...
Oh, Tobin. Tobin's the
Of
name?
course. Yes, you're Hannah's brother.
Yes, that's correct.
That's the one with kind of auburny hair, this kind of darker hair, turns to you and says, I was just going to come over to your shop, but it seems you're out. That's fine. We could probably meet later. We're in charge of the town planning for the celebration.
Oh, I'm actually delivering this letter to Mr. G's shop, and I'm heading back to my shop. I could accompany you back, and we could talk along the way?
Sure. Yes, of course.
All right, if you just give me a moment, I'll be right back.
Wonderful.
And what was your name?
I'm Annalise.
Annalise.
Brightmore. Yes.
Is this someone I would know?
Yeah. So Annalise Brightmore is the wife of Errol Brightmore, who is the descendant of the founder of Brightmore, the town at Brightmore, before it became Brighthallow. And standing next to her is another very affluent woman, Galit Stonebrook. Their spouses are on the town council.
Does this have anything to do with the celebrations?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, since interim mayor Raythorn
Yes, of course.
was nominated by our spouses, we offered to take up the mantle of planning the town celebration. And Galit kind of turns to you and says, yes, you seem to wowed Mr. Raythorn with your interesting proposal to decorate the town, so we are coming to confirm all of the town preparations.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear. I was just in talks with our suppliers, and we're not going to disappoint you. I can guarantee it.
I hope not.
Oh, don't you worry. We're the best in town.
Wonderful. Well, perhaps we can go over all the planning. There's going to be games, prizes, the gift of the sacrament from Father Daywood. Quite a lot will happen on the event, and we need it to be good.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Don't you worry. My full focus is on it.
Annalise looks at you, smiles. Well, let's talk.
Okay, just give me a minute. I'll send this letter in, and we'll be on our way.
Sure. And you pass the letter on. Mr. G kind of goes over the idea that he's going to prepare a lot of these prizes for different awards for a lot of the competitions that are going to be held. As you hand over it to him, he seems very affable, very nice, as he's excited about the income as well as getting to display some of his toys and things like that. And you do walk back with them. Is there anything specific that you want to talk with them as you walk back?
I guess I want to talk about kind of like what style they want for these decorations, as Bella's talked about how it was more kind of centered around the kids, if it's still kind of the theme.
Give me an insight check.
Inside of 14.
14. What you get out of this conversation in terms of Galit starts taking over the real details of it. Galit seems really into the idea of planning this. Annalise with a 14, you can tell, is more there just to be there, just to be seen being there.
Right.
And is really delegating a lot of this work to Galit, who is handling a lot of the gifts and the planning and has real big ideas of what it is. And it seems to fit right with your budget. I think you'll net 800 gold from this, which is quite nice if you do this properly.
That's a lot of coin.
It is. The assumption is that you're going to send out to your suppliers and get. You had described kind of a more magical evening with like this idea of floating fairy lights and things like that.
Floating fairy lights full of
yeah.
illusions, I think. I mean, that's my specialty.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
That's my specialty.
That's my specialty. I'm an illusionist gnome, you see?
as you walk back to your shop, you do pass by Sprinkles and Joy, which is a nice bakery, and it's just on the edge of
the best bakery.
The best bakery, and it's just on the edge of the town plaza, and you can look in, and there's that statue of Rowan Brightmore gallantly standing forward, and you can see some kids in Brightmore Academy uniform, like younger kids, playing in a garden area that's outside of the statue there. And yeah, you can already start envisioning what this will look like with
Absolutely.
booths and tables and an area there's described going to be an area for showing off different livestock, because there's a lot of farmers in this community who want the best price. It's part of this combination harvest festival and anniversary.
I think what I might be doing as I'm walking with the ladies is sharing some ideas and casting minor illusion to show them what it would look like, kind of projecting it into the air, what these items might look like, try to kind of sparkle them or to wow them.
I love it. I mean, they're entertained.
Great.
They like the idea. I think the most about all of this is that they see someone's handling this.
Right.
Annalise goes in to grab something from Sprinkles of Joy, just grab some sweet buns and stuff like that.
Can you get me an apple fritter, please?
And there's silence as she looks at you and Galit. He's and there's just she's awkwardly trying to
Oh, don't
mitigate the situation.
don't worry about it. I'll come by during my lunch break and grab one.
No, of course you wanted an apple.
Oh, it could be on me.
Of course.
For this
yes.
meeting.
No, fine, yes, of course. She walks in, she gets an apple for you.
No.
Galit turns to you and says, I am just so excited that you have this under control. And I love the magic that you've done. And to be honest, we were volunteered for this position, if anything. But it's really nice to see that things were under control, especially with the funeral coming up for the mayor and things like that. We really need something to bind the town together in this time of strife.
Of course. I know all about binding differences together and bringing everyone together as one.
And Annalise walks out and brings the apple for you, hands it to you gracefully, smiling. There you go.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
So
Don't mention it.
Breakfast is very important.
It is. And you're a growing young man.
Well, I think I've reached my tall height of 3'5".
Wonderful.
But thank you anyways.
Good for you.
Elsewhere in the town, Philo Ohana's sixth sense goes, someone is making a social faux pas. My God.
Yeah. And you continue your conversation in the planning, but you know what you need to do. You need to get your items sourced.
Yes.
And you have a better idea of what they're looking for. So that's where we leave you after having that conversation.
I take a big bite out of the apple and I look up at the sky and say, Tobin, you're going to make it.
Tom Hanks' words come to you. It gets better.
Yeah, and you know that
getting
you
better.
can make you can make good money off of this because they really have no concept of how much things cost in
Right,
this
they're
world.
You can
stupidly
stitch 'em up.
rich.
Yeah. Mr. Hanks, we're going to cut over to you. It's your day. I'm assuming you're going to school. Is there anything you're doing?
Yes, I'm giving my lectures at the class in literature and poetry, taking solace trying to contemplate last night's events by reading some of the epic tales of the past for wisdom, gleaning them for desperate wisdom.
Give me an investigation check. Let's see if you get some wisdom out of this.
Yeah, use that one. Oh,
And that's a natural one.
Oof. I think you're just
you get your
What you
different
need to
types.
do, kid,
to be
is-
really
I don't
really
even
honest.
speak this language.
I think you're so no I think you're so connected to that fight you had. There's something. It's very different than teaching. It's very different than reading and interpreting things. You're a barbarian, and this was a real flat-out battle, and there was a purpose to the battle. You went in to save Willow, or at the very least, you weren't going to hurt Willow, and you came out having saved him. You're reading these things to the students, and I think even the students noticed with that investigation that you're a bit distracted.
You can see in your eyes.
And the blood of the righteous flowed forth from the corpses of their... What? Did somebody say something?
The room is silent because all the kids have left. No, I'm joking. So you do that for the day as you're lecturing. I will say you see Francis throughout the day. Francis is back. You gave some money, having paid for a real health potion or a real elixir that has brought them back from the severe beating that they received the other
Francis.
day.
Oh, a comforting face, thank God.
Mr. Hanks, people have said you've been in a real odd mood today.
What do you mean? What have they been saying about me? I didn't do anything. I'm still the same Mr. Hanks that you know and you love.
It's this, the way you're talking to me right now. That's the way.
Sorry. Francis, you're looking well. You're looking very well. Did you take that potion? Did you get that potion? The yummy, yummy potion.
Mr. Hanks, I think this is one of those times where I'm going to have to leave before it gets really weird.
Don't go. Don't go. Stay and let's talk. Do you need some advice?
I'd love some advice, Mr. Hanks. What kind of advice do you want to give me?
Let's see. The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. That kind of thing. Pretty much just don't screw it up. I'll tell you one thing. Don't go into a cemetery at night if you don't have an escape plan.
Give me an insight check.
That is 15.
With a 15, you not only know that they are terrified for you, they are terrified for themselves. Francis is looking at you going, Mr. Hanks, I think I might have to call the school nurse. I just think maybe you need some rest.
Yeah.
Would that be helpful?
Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right, Francis.
I can go get Nurse Whiplittle and she can help you out and maybe, I don't know, some kind of sedative or...
Sure. But you know what? I can go there myself.
Okay.
This is great advice. Thank you, Francis.
Anytime.
Do you mean that?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I'm glad I can count on you.
Okay. As you as you walk over to the nurse's office and get a little bit of, I think something hot, like a hot stew or something from the cafeteria is prescribed for you. Jessie Whiplittle, a female gnome, helps you out. I will say this. You would be aware, same as yesterday, Willowcrack is not at school. He didn't show up. Neither are his friends either.
What happened to the boy? I need to find out if he's okay. If it was all worth it. I mean, isn't that what this is all about? I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I killed some people.
Self-defense.
It's self-defense, yes.
And to save someone else.
And I liked it.
And they were criminals.
Did not like it. I don't know. The rage. I've never given into it before. This is very strange. I need to figure out what happened to Willow. I would like to ask the nurse if she has seen Willow, or maybe through her channels of medicine, heard about anybody being admitted to a hospital last night.
The Nurse Whiplittle. I haven't seen or heard of anything. I can try and ask around, but I think I would have heard of someone who couldn't speak coming into a hospital. Willowcrack is, not the best news. They don't really come to. I've seen them put a lot of people in my nurse's office, is what I'm going to say.
I understand, and I really appreciate how you come in here day after day and you heal these children. You heal them physically. I heal their minds.
You think you heal their minds?
Well, that's what an educator does, is heal the minds and the souls of these broken doves.
All right, well, I'll check around to see if there are any kids like that match Willow's description that have shown up.
I would appreciate it. By the way, have you seen Crespin?
Oh, Mr. Ironspine. I haven't seen him. Give me a insight check.
15.
With a 15, when you mention Crespin, she seemed a little bit startled. You can't really read it much into it, but something about the way she said that, a little odd. But I haven't seen him lately. I assume he was going to come in, but maybe he has town business affairs to get underway. It is a crazy time right now.
Yeah, definitely. Very strange. Well, thank you, Jesse. Please let me know if you find anything out.
Of course.
I'm going to be on my way now.
Well, good luck, and I hope I hope everything goes well for you. You were talking a little bit there about things being worthwhile and killing people. I heard a little bit of that, but then, I assumed it was from one of those stories that you've been reading.
Oh, yeah. The story. Yeah, that didn't happen to me, that's for sure. No. Definitely not me. No.
As you go off, I assume to continue your day. We cut over to Fellerhana. Fellerhana.
First thing I like to do, I'll pop by the bakery in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pick up a nice pie or something for my husband. If he hasn't been home, he might not have eaten. And then I'll go to the town hall to his office, if he's got that.
He does. Yeah, you head into the town hall. As you go in, you do see that there's a lot of kind of movement and things happening. You can see that there's preparations for the funeral, the mayor's funeral that's underway. You see discussions about the town anniversary celebration as well. And you can hear in the hallway the sound of a lot of conversations going on.
Can I listen in? I'm just trying to get an idea of what is the prep for the funeral that's going on.
It's hard for you to hear individual stuff because there's a lot of hubbub in the town hall being discussed. Like that. And so you hear a lot of different sounds going on.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But what you do find out is that it is going to go ahead as planned. The funeral is going to go ahead as planned. Mm-hmm. But there's going to be a town hall meeting tomorrow night, the night before the funeral.
Okay.
They're going to announce it and spread it throughout the town. Anyone can come. A big announcement's going to come.
So it's a town meeting the night before the funeral.
You're outside of your husband's office.
If it sounds like he's in, I will pop in to see him.
You know your husband isn't in, but there is someone in the office.
Does it look like Art is in the office?
Yes, your husband's assistant is in the office. You can see the outline of a fairly thin man.
Brace myself. Tap, tap, tap. Hello.
Ah, yes.
Hello, Art.
Hannah, it's wonderful to see you.
Yes. Where is my husband? I know he's been so busy, but he hasn't been home last night. I was worried he hasn't eaten today.
Oh, he has his hands full with the town watch. They had a big celebration, and there was a lot of there's a big to do over at the town watch headquarters.
Oh, fantastic. I'll pop over to see him then. How are things for you then? All big exciting times for preparing for the funeral and the festival?
Well, yeah, but mostly I've been working on this stuff for him.
Ah, right. You have checked the spelling on them this time, yes?
Yes. I'm not going to make the same mistake as last time.
Please don't. It was rather embarrassing for my husband. It's good to get all the names right of all the members of the town council.
Yes. You're right.
Brighthallow, 2 L's, yes?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Art. Do I know where the town?
Yeah, it's in the same. It's roughly in the same complex of buildings. It's just off to the side.
I'll head out and I'll see if I can get in there.
Yeah, it's quite busy. There is the jail in the back that you don't have really access to, but you see people kind of going in and out of the reception area for the town watch. And eventually, after saying, they know who you are and that you're the wife of the new town watch commissioner who's in charge of the operations here, you are escorted into a small office, smaller than the one that was over there. And it looks to be the office of what the head of the town watch would have. But it's been kind of taken over by your husband. You see your husband there as he's just putting some stuff away in his desk as he sees you. Ah, Hannah.
Hello, Leo.
Hello. Yes.
Had a busy night?
Yes. Oh, you can imagine.
Well, did you book all the suspects, as it were? They all.
We did. Yes.
Oh, good. How were they all? I hope they were a bit sore from last night.
Yeah, you really your group did a number on them.
They started it. They did start it. One of them threatened stabbing us, and oh my God, thank God we had some healing potions. Those things are mighty useful. I told you good thing we got that account at the Forbidden Flask.
Hannah, they're saying that you attacked them.
My God, are you...
I know. We have the evidence you gave us, and it's not going to hold up to the light of day. Their claims, it's clear that they were extorting people, but just so you know, I'm not so sure it'd be great it makes sense that you came to visit me, but the longer you stay around here, the more questions will be asked. I'm holding it off right now. It makes no sense for them to investigate you any further. It's clear that you're part of your club, and you went over to that area, and you did a really great job, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Leo. And seeing you here, I'm very proud of you, dear.
Thank you.
I think finally we're going to be a great couple worthy of each other.
I think so.
Pie for you.
Thank you.
Take you down. I'm going to go around
He
the
enjoys
desk
it,
to
yeah.
give him a kiss. Can I perception to see what's on his desk?
The desk has been cleared.
Damn it.
He cleared it when you walked in.
Damn, he knows me. All right. I'll, yep.
But as you walk over to that side, and he has that pie, and he's enjoying it, he looks at you and says, are you looking for something?
I was just looking for you, dear. I wanted to celebrate last night, but you weren't around.
Yes, it was a busy night. You can
Well,
imagine.
I hear there's another town hall meeting coming up as well.
Yes, tomorrow night. You are invited, of course, and I would definitely recommend the rest of your club to come as well.
We will come along. Is there anything we need to be prepared for if it's a big announcement?
It will all be done. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all taken care of.
Insight check on him?
Sure.
See how he's feeling about it? Oh, that's a bit better. That is 18.
18. He's genuine. It's all been taken care of. And I think when he says that, I think you do see in him some real pride there when he's saying that. It's all been taken care of. And he says, I'm going to make sure that people know what you did.
Oh, thank you, Leo. Take care, honey. I'll see you later on. And off I go.
Yeah, he kisses you and off you head.
What is he planning? Oh my god, that son of a bitch. God damn it.
So for the remaining part of the day, I'm just going to go around the table, and I just want to know, are there things that you want to accomplish? This is more of this downtime activity that we have. So we'll start with Garrett.
Ooh.
Garrett, is there anything you're trying to accomplish for the rest of the day?
Yes.
And for tomorrow as well? Or I
Yes.
guess when you find out about this meeting as well. Yeah.
With what happened the night before, and with this almost discovery of these new abilities, I think Garrett's using his downtime today to really explore that and see what he can do. Like what other things can he make move differently, act differently, behave differently? Go back and check those old magic books. Maybe can I grab something from there and do something? And I actually want to use my Artificer infusions
Yeah.
for the
Awesome.
day.
Exciting. What do you infuse?
I infuse my dagger, and I infuse that with a returning weapon. And I also infuse Mr. G's armor as armor of magical strength.
I think a lot of this is that moment when you infused the soldier with a spark of pure magic, experimenting with this newfound ability that you have. I think you're learning a little bit that when you're holding that dagger, putting it away after the battle, there's a moment as you put it away and there's a thought in your head possibly, wait a minute, did I put it in the right spot? And as you're trying to think to where it is, it just
Appears back in my hand.
exactly appears back in your hand. And as you're shining up the armor, taking real good care of it, there's the same thing. There's just this feeling as maybe you put on the gauntlet a little bit so that you can get the good angle of the parts that maybe you missed. And in that moment, as you're lifting something, you find it's a little bit easier to lift things. And
Sick.
yeah, very cool. So that's what you spend your day doing. Tobin, is there anything else that you're doing for the day aside from the preparations that you were doing?
I think I'm probably looking through my books, the overdue library books that I have in my loft. I imagine the preparations don't take too much time once I've written those letters. I'm kind of waiting, and it might be a slow day in the shop. So I'm just kind of reading through the books, trying to figure out what could be helpful for us in the future. Experiencing a fight and a battle for the first time and realizing that I can't run from a battle when I'm part of a team. And I had to stick around and help, despite being terrified.
Yeah, I mean, you have your book of spells, and spending time going over new spells, I think there is some ability in your head where somehow the descriptions of the magic that was higher level becomes more accessible to you. It seems easier for you to not just copy it into your book, but copying into the book means it's writing it in your own language,
Right.
or your own form of how you interpret magic. It's not just knowing the quadratic equation, it's knowing how to derive it,
Yeah.
and you understand the depths of the logic behind these spells. So I think there is a lot of that as you're adding new spells to your book. And people do come into the shop. This is in between. It's those down hours.
Right.
You're retail, so you got a lot of time to hang out and just chill out.
Yeah, cool.
I like it. And Mr. Hanks, we know that you taught through the rest of the day, but is there anything you're doing in the afternoon?
Yes, there's two things that I would like to do. One is to investigate the whereabouts of Crespin Ironspine, maybe by stopping by his office, seeing if there's any details I can glean, and also looking into the 3 names that I saw in the book.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
And then after I've done those things, I want to stop by my house, and there's like a cupboard that I keep locked, and I open it, and I look inside, and there's a bottle of spirits, and it says, "Don't do it" on the side, and I pick it up, and I look at it for a while, and then I put it back.
All right, I love that. Give me an investigation check just for the things that you want to look through the day. You can have advantage on one of them if you want to do just one, or you can do both and 2 investigations separately.
2 investigations separately.
Cool. What did you get?
So first was 11
Yeah.
and a 6.
Cool.
It's a crazy roll.
So for Crespin Ironspine, when you get to his office, it's locked. But from what you can understand from the vice principal, that yes, he's in the town hall doing work.
Okay.
He's taken on the mantle of helping out with the funeral preparations. The vice principal has taken over for the day. In terms of the names, with a 6, you don't have much time at the end of the day. The thought occurs to you that you don't know the people's names. You don't know if there's a link between why they're named what they're named, and you don't really know what the symbols are. But what you did know, the one piece of information you really understood, is the dollar sign associated with how much money things were sold for. You understood roughly how much things cost, and that might give you a lead. You might not be the best person to solve this lead, but what you do know is that there was things that were sold for a certain amount of money, and you know people now who deal with magical items and might know a little bit better on what things might cost. So you could have like a price range, knowing that, you know, if you saw someone bought something for X amount of dollars, you'd be like, oh, well, that's a car, or oh, that's probably like a smoothie or something. These are also black market items. So that's what you get from that. And so Falorhana, you've done that for your day. It's the kind of end of the day. What are you going to do?
I will go to the Siren Song, because I am starving. I have been since this morning, even though I've eaten. It's unusual. I am going to talk a little bit to people who are there about the exploits of the NWA and how we've been rather successful. I won't give key details away, but we're saving the Lower Hallows as we come towards the festival. Not only are we helping organize the festival, we're literally cleaning up the town.
Give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion? Perfect.
Yeah.
That is a 22.
That's 22. That's really great. There aren't that many people there this evening, but there are quite a few that you do see, fairly wealthy people, especially the maitre d' who's in charge. And yeah, people really enjoy hearing the description of what you see your group doing for the town, especially for the Lower Hallows. With that amount, you do see that a lot of people are taking the words you say, and you see them kind of walk off and possibly share that information with other people. It's like, oh, did you know? Because there's a lot of gossip spreading around here.
Exactly.
You've begun the process of people talking about the neighborhood watch and associating it with big things.
Good.
And so I assume, Falorhana, you do share with everybody. Using your mind link, you're going to gather them together.
Yeah.
Cool. At the shop. And later at the shop, you're all gathered together. This seems like a regular occurrence now. It used to be a weekly meetup every Wednesday night. It is now Friday night, and you've all gathered together.
I'm assuming we'll just catch each other up on things we've discovered.
Yeah, everyone shares what they've learned in terms of the research that they've been doing, and possibly, unless there's really something you want to keep hidden, you're sharing as much info as possible, along with there's a town meeting, and you've all been invited.
Cool.
I know, we're going to be on stage. It's going to be lovely.
What?
Well,
On stage?
Well, we're going to get referenced, darling. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I want to go on stage.
Oh, it'll be okay, Garrett. Just think of it like when you used to deliver reports in my class. You were a great speaker.
I was pretty bad at it.
So, is anybody else having a hard time coping?
Well, I mean, a bit. We fought for our lives, but we won. We're still here.
We did the right thing, right?
I mean, Yeah, probably.
Absolutely.
Saving the town, saving the lower hollows from a criminal gang. You saw what they had down there. They extort the poor people. They they force young ones to do terrible acts in order to enter. They weren't good people.
And look how we came together. It's like we're an adventuring team from one of those stories.
Yeah. And any thoughts on the names that I saw in the book?
Well, that does seem a bit more your field of expertise. You know the kind of magic items that might be dealt around.
Well, I could do some research. Definitely.
I think that's a great idea. Cobalt cricket, verdant serpent, and auburn eagle. Very strange things, and the prices are so extraordinary. I mean, I'm not up on these kinds of black market items, but I don't know. Maybe that means something to you.
I could go to the Forbidden Flask or the tavern and see if I can find out some information.
The tavern? You said the tavern?
The Iron Yak Tavern?
That's where my mom works.
Oh, you also have some family in mining, isn't that right?
Yeah, my dad and my brother.
Well, we do. As you found out when you were down looking at the silver bars, we might want to have a sneaky peek around there. He's doing all right, isn't he?
Who?
Your father?
I guess he's there a lot. You know, I don't see him that much anymore. Why are you asking about my dad?
Well, Pith mentioned your family, and I would like to. Well, it's our duty not only to protect the town, but protect each other. Like my brother says, we are an adventuring group. We must look out for one another and those we love.
I don't know if he's going to be much help to you if you're.
Oh, I meant we could help him.
Oh.
I'm assuming he's. Do you not speak to him?
Not that much, really.
Oh my God, estranged fathers. We could talk for days. We could. Oh, the stories I could tell you, but we might. It might be good to reconnect a little bit again.
Yeah,
we don't know how deep this goes.
I don't think so.
No?
Maybe if you want to talk to, maybe you could try my brother. Is it about mining stuff?
It might be about the Brightmoor mining company. Is he involved in that at all? Your brother?
Yeah, he is. If it's all the same to you, I'd rather not speak with my dad about that stuff. Like, we could maybe try my brother, but again, I don't know how much you're going to get out of them.
Yeah, we can table it for now. No, just merely putting feelers out there.
Sure, yeah.
Any other leads we have?
Actually, I got this really cool thing.
What's that?
It's not information, but check this out. He takes out his dagger, and he looks at the wall, and he throws it.
And Tubby, oh, careful!
And then it just disappears, and it appears back in his hand.
Whoa!
Look at that! How awesome is that?
That's very cool, Garrett, but it seems quite dangerous.
Yeah, I know. I was trying. I don't want to hurt people. Like last night, I tried not to hurt anyone. Like, I made sure I just used the shocking thing, and right.
Oh my God.
No, you know, it's okay, Mr. Hanks. You know, they were trying to. I think they were trying to kill us.
They would have killed us.
And we killed them.
No. We rested most of them. You've crunched that pastry I gave you in your hand.
They crunched them. Their bones.
Mr. Hanks.
Broken my.
Tobin,
Mr. Hanks.
Tobin, can we include
Yes,
in the meeting notes that maybe for next meeting, maybe no strawberry jam. I think it's a bit triggering for some.
Sure, I'll make sure not to include strawberry jam.
Right.
Well, I think we either need to investigate these findings by going to the Forbidden Flask or the tavern, or get down to that meeting.
Well, meeting will be on tomorrow night. We could take it easy tonight. Tobin and I can, hit the books to see if we can find some ideas about these magical items you heard about.
Yes, and Garrett, you said your mother works at the tavern?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I suppose you and I could go down there and just say hello and see if we can find out any information.
Yeah, sure.
Sounds like a plan.
Good meeting,
right.
everyone. Good meeting.
So you have a rather uneventful night in terms of resting up. And the next day, you do have your normal work that you're doing.
So, assuming we're using the day to do these separate things, and then evening for the town hall meeting, yeah?
Yeah. I would love a investigation roll from one of you with advantage.
I'd love $1 million, but
But well, you can't have it all, Ben,
Yeah.
can we?
Worst advantage roll ever. 2 and a 4. So +5 is a 9.
A 9? Okay. So with that roll, it's hard to pin down what these might be specifically, but you do know a few items that you kind of narrow it down in terms of possibly the ingredients for what was purchased, maybe.
Yeah.
So you know that the repeating purchase most likely included myconid spores. It's like a mushroom that grows in the Underdark.
Spores.
A sentient mushroom that grows in the Underdark.
Sentient mushroom.
Yeah. There is most likely the fairly expensive one that was purchased a few weeks ago or a week ago. That one, probably with the price range, includes something that has a werewolf's fangs or something of that connection. So something with that kind of magical curse connected to it. And the most expensive thing, the only thing you could think of that matches that high level of price, the one that was purchased a few days ago.
What was the price? Like, what was it?
So we're talking in the range of roughly 50 to 100 for the one that's on a repeat basis, somewhere in between
so like
there.
A good amount.
Yeah. Then you saw the next one was at least 200.
Oh, okay.
And then this one, we're talking closer to 1,000. And the only thing you could think of that might be that expensive, that valuable, would be dragon's blood. But you don't really, there's such a rarity to even know the type of, like if you knew the type, you could really discern what this was used for. But this is as much as I think you can get out of that. If you had a higher roll, I would probably give you more ingredients or a little bit more info.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's what you get from your research and trying to, cross-referencing montage. As if there was computers here, it'd just be like panning shots of you typing at the computer.
Licking finger, turning page.
In this case, it's just looking at a book.
Push it to the limit.
Yeah. And across the town, we have our two friends here, Garrett and Mr. Hanks.
Oh, here we are.
As you enter into the Iron Yak, you see it's a bustling bar, even in the middle of the day. It's a Saturday, but it's bustling with a lot of hardworking people, salt of the earth, a lot of people who work in the silver mine, and at the little mini stage that's been erected, you do see Griff Spindle, the town troubadour. He's a male Asimar, which is a type of half angelic being, and he's sitting there with a kind of banjo as everyone's singing along with the songs that he's playing. You see among the people that are there the Greystones, who are dwarfs that run the bar. Really, it's just Derry Greystone, who is 200 years old, female dwarf. She runs this bar. Her husband has passed away a while ago, and her son, young Jack Greystone. And they're just running the bar, and you do see your mom there as well. You do see your mother, Alinthe Margrave. She has like gray in her hair. She has some crow's feet. She has kind of like perpetual soot on her face. She's very, she works hard, but she has a great rapport with everyone as she's walking around the Iron Yak serving people drinks, and there's a lot of bustle, and it has this kind of earthy vibe to this place, as even though it's daylight outside around the afternoon, inside it feels like it's nighttime perpetually. Yeah,
feels like the mines.
Yeah, really thick oak wood tables and things like that as you're just sitting there as you walk in.
They never. Have you been here before?
Not recently. Perhaps I'll go approach the bard and toss a coin in his hat and see if he'll sing us a tune. You there, troubadour.
Yeah, how can I help you?
I'm wondering if you could sing a song for us, something special. I'll give you. There's one gold coin in it for you.
Oh,
And,
gold coin, you say?
And if that song were to come along with a little bit of information, perhaps you've seen some of my friends around here.
Your friends?
Well, I'm looking for a young man named Willow Crack. Doesn't say much.
Give me a insight check.
15.
He looks at you and says, Willow Crack. Nah, can't say that I've seen a Willow Crack. I mean, I do know the Crack family. They have lived in this town for a long time. But haven't, sorry. But I'll take this and I'll play one of the favorites here. And he shouts, this one's thanks to this guy over here. He's paid for this as he
That's me.
strums his banjo, and the minute he starts strumming it, everybody just kind of like starts cheering, and it's a similar song from before,
Round the
same
table.
kind of theme, and it's clearly a hit. He's calling out, just saying that like. I'll eat when I'm hungry, I'll drink when I'm dry. If mining don't kill me, I'll live till I die. God bless that silver, I wish it were mine. Its shine is as bright as the dew on the vine. And everyone starts cheering and singing along, and it's a great time.
Well, it's a good song, Garrett. It
Yeah.
didn't yield much information.
Well, maybe let's go speak to my mom. She's kind of busy, but come on.
Okay.
Yeah, and you see your mom. She looks at you.
Hi, Mom.
Garrett,
Hi.
hi.
Hey.
What, is everything all right?
Yeah, no, we're okay. Hey, do you remember Mr. Hanks from school?
Right.
A pleasure
Yeah.
to see you again, Mrs. Margrave.
A pleasure to see you too.
The pleasure's all
sorry,
mine.
I'll take a break. She looks over to the bar and kind of signals that she's going to take a little bit of a break, as they kind of nod. And yeah, come and sit down. I'm sure we can chat. How can I help you? You seem worried.
Oh, yeah, a little bit, but that's okay. Hey, you haven't seen anyone rougher than usual around here lately, have you? Like last day or two? Like maybe,
No.
No? Okay.
I mean, it's been pretty packed.
Yeah. Okay. No, yeah, don't worry. Hey, I joined like a neighborhood watch,
Oh,
and we're doing good things, and we're
great.
really trying to help the Hallows and make everything better.
Sure.
And yeah, we're doing a good job. Mr. Hanks is in it too. That's why he's here.
Indeed, and I must say, Mrs. Margrave, your son is an exceptional young man.
and this is like when you get together with your friends, and then you roll those dice, and
Oh.
and you talk about adventures.
No, this is a real thing. It's a real
I
thing.
know you think it's pretty real to you.
No, Mrs. Margrave, Garrett is correct. Last night, well, I won't go into the details, the horrifying details, but we definitely are onto something. In fact, we've handed over quite a significant investigation to the town watch, and I know that the mayor, well, has met his untimely end, and I think there might be a connection. The short end of it is that we're looking for somebody who may be connected to all of this.
Yeah, we're helping with the investigation.
Right. And you think I've seen this person? Is that
Perhaps
why you're-
around the pub,
Yeah,
around the
maybe.
tavern.
Yeah.
And who is it?
Well, we're not quite sure. Whether we're looking for a couple of people. First, have you seen a young man, a fellow classmate of Garrett's, actually, Willow Crack?
I'm gonna roll a little luck check here. No, haven't seen him.
You hesitated. Are you sure?
Yeah, it was a little bit of the DM wishing that number was a little different, but honoring the randomness.
Well, I understand. Have you heard anything, maybe around the pub, about something called the Grey Hand?
Both of you give me insight check
Insight check my mum.
and a perception check.
Okay, my insight is 15.
Mine was 14,
My perception is 11.
and my perception was 4.
It seems that as you're focused in on trying to get as much information as possible, you don't really notice with the atmosphere of the bar. You don't really notice that the bar has gotten a little bit quieter. But in terms of insight, you can see your mother looks at you, and for both of you, you got roughly around the same, but yours means more because she's your mom. And she looks at you and says, Garrett, maybe we can talk about this another time. My boy here is playing his games, playing those games, the role-playing ones that he likes to do.
Yeah, it's Lairs and Liches. Maybe you should try it.
Yeah.
You
And
need-
Mrs.
you
Margrave,
need dice.
no, we already went over this. It's not a game.
No, it is the game, Mr. Hanks.
We'll talk
talk
another
about
time.
it later.
In fact,
We'll
I'll
talk
walk
about
you
it later.
out. I'll walk you out.
Mr.
and
Hanks, I
I'll
think we
help
should
you
go.
out.
Are you sure, Garrett?
I think we the people around. I think they don't like us talking about that here.
Well, if
We
you
can
say
let's
so.
ask outside.
Troubadour, thank you again.
Hey, anytime.
Any time is right. I'll certainly be back.
As you're escorted out, she turns to you and says, Garrett, I don't know what you've gotten mixed up with, but they're not they're not good people. I would be very careful what you do.
Who are you talking about? Is it Pith? Are you talking about Pith?
Maybe use a softer voice.
Sorry, who are you talking about?
She looks at you. She looks at Garrett. We worked really hard in our family to keep our heads down and not get involved with any of this. So I don't know what you've gotten yourself mixed up in, but be safe. Do you think we're safe?
Garrett just has like the most guilty look on his face that you've ever seen. Well, you know how I said we were helping with the investigation, and I said, you know, we were doing stuff. We had a bit of a run-in with Pith, and he mentioned you guys, and I don't know, maybe that's why I asked if there was people around, you know.
Garrett, I'm going to have to
a
talk
little
to your father, and we're going to have to make sure that we're safe. And
I
after
think
all
we'll
that
be okay.
saving, all the money that we spent to have you get a place with Mr. G as an apprentice, now I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed.
Oh, damn it.
But Garrett, look, Mr. Hanks, it's odd that you're here for this conversation, but you can be here for this.
Thank you.
I know your dad has a lot of opinions about how you chose to live your life,
Yeah.
but I know you'll make the right choices. And if I do see anyone, I'll let you know. I really don't know what to say.
Okay. How's Peter doing? Is he okay?
Yeah, he picked up some extra shifts. You know, he needs to.
Yeah.
What with the kid on the way.
Yeah. Well, Vera's okay then as well?
Of course.
Okay, good. All right.
And you're welcome to come home for dinner anytime.
Yeah. Okay.
Anytime.
And okay, anytime.
We love that, Mrs. Margaret.
What? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the whole group. You can all come. I'm sure we can make it work.
All right.
I'll let you know if I
okay.
see anything.
Okay, thanks, Mom.
As she walks back in, the crowd kind of picks up in there. You hear it as the door closes.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that there's something going on here.
Yeah, the gray hands are pretty big, I think.
It's a big hand.
It is. It's reaching pretty far.
Long fingers.
The grasp is wide.
And I think it's time we cut the nails.
Yeah, so we don't get cut from a sharp nail.
As you explore that metaphor to the deepest lengths, you all realize in your respective areas that it is roughly time for the town council meeting, if you want to attend.
We better get to that meeting, Garrett.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as you go in, it's an open hall. As you all find your way in there, and there are reserved seats in the front for you, Falorhana.
Are we sat near my husband?
Your husband's actually on a dais where the town council is
You're
arranged.
just obsessed with him, aren't you? Gosh.
I need to see him burn.
But you are within an eye shot, and he kind of looks at you, and he's smiling as a lot of people start filtering in. This seats about 100 people or so. The town is much larger than that, and you do notice that most of the people are from the Bright Gardens area.
Is that kind of the usual?
Yeah, no, it's like this is in the Bright Gardens. It's like, who's going to attend a town council? This is the reason why you got to show up. You got to vote. This is the reason why representation is so lopsided. It's mostly the wealthy from Bright Gardens, and in Brighthallow, the conglomerated town, it's very apparent that they have more representation. But yeah, you're all gathered together. You see that there are seats for you.
Tobin, Falorhana, how's it going?
All right, we found some information. Maybe some ingredients that they would have purchased. You guys find anything?
No.
Not much of anything, but it became quite apparent that the reach of the Grey Hand has enveloped the entire town.
It's a tight grip.
We all sit firmly within its grasp.
Well, that's sounding lovely as we're about to sit down at a town council meeting. I'm sure nothing will go wrong. We're in safe hands here.
Is Crespin Ironside up there?
Yep.
Yep. At some point, I'll try to get Crespin and pull him aside and ask him what happened to Willow.
He's not just some bard on the stage. You can't just speak to him now.
Hey, for a gold coin. Hey, you there.
I'm sorry, I didn't know the etiquette of a tavern. I thought that you would walk to the stage.
As you notice, the sound in the room starts to kind of quiet. As
Very quickly, I'm going to, can I prestidigitation all of us so we're just looking a little cleaner, a little nicer,
yeah.
a little bit
That's
more
great.
put together.
The sparkle in your eye. Ding, ding.
interim mayor Raythorn steps up to a little podium, kind of calls out.
A little podium?
Like he's a Goliath. He's a Goliath. Yeah, he's like, this is for like a human, so it's a little bit. He's just taller. And he looks at everyone, and he starts about his business. But the first thing he announces to everyone is, as he clears his throat, and I am pleased to announce that Dr. Rainier has announced his findings with the investigation into the mayor's death, and it was natural causes. It seems the mayor was allergic to some of the food, unfortunately, that he consumed at the dinner. But we can all rest assured that there was no foul play. I have been assured by Dr. Rainier, which is lovely news to hear. Tomorrow, I hope you can all attend the funeral.
Insight check.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
On my husband.
Yeah.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. He is uncomfortable.
Interesting.
You can
Cool.
see he's uncomfortable. Whether or not it's about this or about anything else, he is. You can read him so well. You know your husband. You do know some of his tells, and you can see he has some discomfort.
Is he looking anywhere particular, or just focusing on what's going on?
He's focused down at what appears to be a document in his hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I see if I can make eye contact with Crespin
Yeah.
and like signal to him with like a wink or be like motion like I need to talk to you?
Yeah. Give me a persuasion check.
Performance.
Yeah.
Persuasion. 17.
17. You do make eye contact with him. He looks at you like. There's this expression of like, Hanks, not now.
I need to talk to you.
Hanks, there's a meeting kind of thing. He's looking at you like shaking his head.
We can do it
Shaking his head.
but I need to talk to you.
Later. Like he's kind of looking at you as Raythorn is continuing just with mainly while this is happening, he's discussing that preparations for the town for the celebration are going forward, and he's signaling that Annalise Brightmore and Khalid Stonebrook have taken up the position and that they're going to continue, and the appropriation of the funds are going to be spent. It's going to be a wonderful affair, and dictating a little bit more of that. And finally he kind of turns and he says, and I am very pleased to hand over the remaining part of this meeting to Leo Van Hagen, the new commissioner of the Town Watch. There has been some interesting developments in our town. Leo. And you see Leo stand up, and he brings that paper with him. Seems to be a little speech as he stands up and says, I have come to announce that we have arrested a number of individuals, thugs and criminals that have been terrorizing the Lower Hallows. They have really had part of our town in a vice grip, and with the wonderful work of our town watch, and he kind of signals, everyone please give a round of applause, truly, for Tamil Sudre and his dedicated workforce, for they have uncovered a racket that these thieves have stolen silver from the Brightmore Mining Company. They have done an immense job, and they are continuing the work that I promised that we would do, that when you nominated me and you selected me to be the commissioner for this organization, we would turn our focus to the Lower Hallows and we would change things for the better. I am proud to say that we've accomplished part of that goal. Now, Mayor Raythorn has promised that these criminals will be prosecuted, possibly even sending some to Spire's Keep, given the nature of their crimes, and word will be sent to Whiteborn in the coming weeks to expedite the trial. I would also like to say that the Blessed Horde Bank has offered to pay a reward for a return for the stolen silver, 500 gold for the massive amount of silver that was stolen. We haven't found it where these criminals were, but the mining company would like to retrieve it. So any information for that would be greatly appreciated. But please, everyone, just know that our city is safe thanks to our heroes of the town guard. Thank you. And he sits down.
What? I yell out as soon as
You yell it?
Yeah.
Everyone turns and looks at you.
I put my foot up.
Excuse me.
Sorry, did you say something?
No, sorry. I was just so excited about yes. My apologies.
No worries. And Raythorn steps up and says, yes, thank you. I am very pleased at the work that Leo Van Hagen has done
for our city. May we continue this work going forward. I hope to see many of you at the funeral where we honor our mayor tomorrow. Meeting adjourned.
Hey, your husband's kind of a dick.
In every single way, except for it counts, yes, he is a dick.
You lied to them.
Lied to everybody. Lied to the whole town.
Why would he do that?
I'm glaring at him.
He's avoiding as much as possible looking at your eyes.
Hey, did you hear about that silver though? We could use it to if only we knew where it was.
Shall we go to the shop, Tobin?
Meet at the shop, and then maybe we could collect this reward.
Looking at the... were there any people who were at the Siren Song?
Yeah, give me just a perception check.
13.
13. So with the 13, yeah, there are a few people there that were at the Siren Song. And what you catch with the 13 is when you kind of try and listen into a few of them as you notice them, you hear laughter and you hear phrases of just like, to think that she thought that she was doing blah, blah, blah. And you can tell that there's a little bit of gossip about you in this moment. Oh. And you hear something of like, her own husband, blah, blah, blah. You hear just a little bit with the 13. If you had more, you'd hear exactly what they're saying. But you know.
Good. I know. I know what they say.
The Real Housewives shit going
Crispin.
on.
Crispin.
Thanks.
Yeah, Crispin. I'm just so shocked by this development. Well, these criminals have been caught by...
Wonderful job. I can't thank them enough, the Town Watch, for doing this.
The Town Watch. And how did they... how did they discover that?
Oh, you'll have to talk to Tamil. It was a crazy story. He said that they came in, they knew that, you know, they had new orders to go into the Lower Hallows and to liberate them, and they knew that the cemetery was a place that they operated from. They went down in there. It was a mess, you know. They really knocked them up real good. It was. I heard about the whole battle. It was amazing. I can't even believe it. They said it was a small band of them versus the entire organization, and they took them down, and they found the evidence to lock them up for good. It's wonderful. I can't believe it. True heroes, I'd say.
Missing in that silver, huh? Though they didn't find the silver, did they?
Oh, I mean, that's really a problem for the mining company at this point. I think the fact that the Lower Hallows has been helped out in this way, I think really bridges the divide between the town, don't you?
Yes, and to think that they were there beating on those bodies and teaching them to treat people with respect and...
This is why I think you're a great educator. It's like you're really invested in it. You can really see... It's like you're really putting yourself in the mind of what was going on.
I feel like I was there. Anyway, Crispin, I also wanted to ask you, have you seen Willow Crack?
Willow Crack? You mean the little hoodlum?
Well, you know, I have hope for him. I think I can turn him around. And, you know, he wasn't at school again today, and I'm just a little bit concerned.
Nah, I haven't seen him. I'm sorry. I don't really... I've been busy at the town hall most of these days, you know, with the funeral preparations, but... I could try and find out for you, but hey, don't worry about it. If he doesn't show up, he doesn't show up. You know, what's he gonna do? He's not gonna graduate. Between you and me, it's been what, 4 years, 5 years?
Well, there's still hope. Hey, do you think also that you might introduce me to Tamil Sudre so that I can congratulate them on this fantastic job that they did?
Of course. You find that it's just like you two in the hall, like the other. Like, I mean, we could try and find them later, or
yeah.
Hey, Hanks, I'll find a way to connect you with Tamil Sudre. Okay, maybe at the funeral, okay?
Thanks a lot. I have a lot of things I'd like to discuss with him. Oh, boy. And then I just started walking away. I don't turn around. I just start backing up.
As the rest of you are dealing with this news, I guess, of the fact that the Town Watch has taken full credit and everyone is congratulating them, and there's discussions of possibly honoring them with some sort of presentation or award or ceremony at the town 500th anniversary. People just kind of walk by you, and some news in terms of, I would say that you notice, Hannah, that gossip is spreading and people are looking at you with kind of like pity, I would say, with the perception you had from before.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
What would you like to do?
Didn't we say we were meeting? We were
Oh, yeah,
heading back
meeting
to the
out,
shop.
yeah,
so we
sorry.
could talk privately.
Gotcha, yeah.
I'm going to be looking at
Later,
my
yeah.
husband and Tamil.
Do you want to try and grab your husband or no?
No.
Cool.
Speak to him later. I'm just looking at them and I'm feeling starving.
I'm gonna
Let's go to the shop.
I'm gonna take Anna's hand and say, "It's okay. It's okay. It's okay."
Mm-hmm.
Serenity now.
It's ready to now.
you have the-
Insanity! Okay.
Have that sleep spell ready. We might
Don't
need it
worry.
later. Okay, thank you.
As you gather together at the shop, you're all together. You're at the same location that you were even last night, with all your hopes of being honored for your work. You are now looking at each other. It is quiet.
Hey, I don't want to be paranoid or anything, but maybe there's a lot of people who can do magic and things like that, and maybe don't mention out loud the location of the silver.
Of course, wouldn't dream of it.
Okay.
Now, how are we getting this reward?
Well, I think we should. I think we're entitled to that at least, if we're not
Do
going to
you-
get any credit.
Well, money's one thing, gentlemen, or we could actually expose the town watch and my husband for being the lying pieces of shit that they are.
How can we do that, though?
We have what they're looking for. We have illusion on our side, and we have a very big festival coming up.
But I mean, don't we want more confidence in the town watch? I mean, that's a good thing, isn't it? That people have confidence in them.
That's true.
Yes, confidence in liars, cheaters and scammers.
Well, I mean, they did come to help us, and they said they were going to watch out for these people now. So we helped them out, and maybe we'll get a name for ourselves, and then the next time we do something good.
I'm just smouldering in the corner.
First time being trodden on, Hannah?
The only time it's happened where I didn't actually ask for it first. Sorry, that was a bit private, Garrett.
Wait,
You'll learn when
what?
you're older.
Oh. Oh. Garrett blushes.
So what would you like to do now? What's your plan?
Well, we should probably get the goods. I mean, there's someone else who knows where it is.
Well, is it nighttime?
Yeah.
Maybe it's not safe to go there at night time.
No, but we also need a story. I mean, they're going to ask why perhaps maybe we meet to play. What was the game you play?
Lares and Liches.
Yeah, we wanted it to be more realistic, so we met in a graveyard.
Okay. Well, who do we have to bring it back to?
Oh, so the Blessed Horde Bank is going to pay it, but the mining company itself is asking for any knowledge or any of the whereabouts of the Horde.
Oh, so
Yeah,
so we just need to take it to the mining company.
yeah, or at least tell them where it is. Yeah, proof that you have it. Yeah.
I feel like we should take it to them, as Hannah just mentioned. Our glory was kind of stolen from us. If we mention it, we have no proof that it was us.
They might.
Well, yeah, they might just go ahead and give it to the town watch if we say we're on behalf of the town watch.
When I give it to the town watch, they might say we're part of it all. Who knows? Who knows what depraved little things my husband and his little band are going to get up to?
But with 500 gold pieces, we could get some adventuring gear. We could
Oh yeah.
make sure we're really equipped.
Yeah.
An official neighborhood watch.
What proof do we have that they won't accuse us of having stolen the silver if we tell them where it is? They already lied and said that they're the ones who caught the criminals.
It would look good for Leo Van Hagen. He's such a justice-seeking man that he'd even throw his wife to the side. That's what I'd do, at least.
Maybe we should move the silver to a...
I think we need
Another
to give it a bit
location?
of time. Or we do it at a time when everyone else will be distracted, like the funeral, possibly.
What if you talk to your husband privately? Or even better, if we all talk to your husband privately.
I could try to arrange that. He's going to know that I'm not happy at the moment, so he might be very on guard. Be aware of that.
I was thinking the same thing, Mr. Hanks. Like, why not just grab the bull by the horns, you know?
What does that mean?
That's like a bull and you grab it but by the horns.
But why would you grab a bull?
That's the best place to grab a bull.
I don't think it's good to grab a bull at
No,
all.
but
Garrett.
if you have to grab a bull, like, you don't want to grab anything else. You can grab the horns, because the horns will hurt you. And if you're in control of the horns, then the horns can't get you.
So you're going to.
The student has become the teacher.
So are you?
He's not very eloquent, Garrett.
What's your plan? You want to go to your house? Is that the plan?
Speak to Leo Van Arsewipe.
Hey, yeah, if we can find out where he is. Again, I doubt he's going to go home because I'm going to be there waiting for him. But we can track him down.
I have a feeling I know exactly what he's going to say to us.
What?
But I've
Tough shit.
Yes, and that if he congratulated us, it would ruin trust in the Town Watch. That a bunch of commoners like us could take down a gang and the Town Watch couldn't. No one's going to trust them, and his job is to make sure that people do trust him, which is good for the town, right?
Tobin, we need to have a word about your perspective on things.
Right.
It's multi-layered. I don't like it.
So what would you like to do then?
Let's go try and track down my dear husband, or maybe even Tamil, have a word with them. In fact, telepathic link for the listeners at home. Leo,
Honey?
where are you?
Home.
Would like to have a bit of an official meet with the commissioner, if that's all right. Me and my
With the
association.
commissioner or your husband?
With the commissioner.
Then you could make an appointment.
We're coming round now. Have everything ready?
Okay. You head over to your place in the Palisades.
Mm-hmm. Welcome in, lads. Feel free to make yourself at home.
You live here?
Yes.
In the kind of living room area, you see your husband fixing himself a drink as you all enter in. Oh, I didn't see you were going to bring the entire group of your club.
Hi.
Hello. Take a seat.
Hi, Leo.
I'll
Seven.
stand.
All right.
Yeah, me too. We give like a nod, like
As
yeah.
you wish. He kind of disregards you and just looks at his wife.
So, Leo, reason for taking all the glory?
What do you mean?
For not saying that the NWA reported everything in?
I mean, I think you can put two and two together.
Right, but I want to hear you say it.
You and I have the same goal. You and I want this town to be safer. And there was a group that was holding down the Lower Hallows,
Mm-hmm.
keeping them from being safe. I've heard you talk about it, and I have a position of authority. And I honestly don't know how you could think that the Town Watch would be effective if it seemed that we need the help of vigilantes and adventurers. It would invite chaos. You're a smart woman, I know that. You had to have known. This is a victory for both of us. It's working. What you want is working. The town is safer.
I am working, Leo. I have stepped up to the plate.
You did.
We have done the job. You have spoken poorly, might I add. These classes I've been trying to get you to go to obviously aren't really working out for you. Just why the need to take it? Why the need to do anything when you're incapable of doing it? But you'll claim the glory?
I didn't take the glory. The Town Watch took the glory. And it was theirs to take.
Right, so you're not even going to take responsibility for this. It's Tamil. He bullied you into this, was it?
I can see you're hurt. And I'm sorry.
That's good to hear.
But what I did for the town.
Right.
And not for myself. Unlike others here, I care about the greater picture. But if you wish for the glory, then go to the club and tell more people. Spread word. Get the glory. You've done your work. The whole town has heard of what you claimed happened, but in the end, one story was more believable. If you want glory, earn it.
We did. We beat a gang that's been terrorizing this town for God knows how long.
You mean
And
the one
that's-
that the town watch beat? Yes. He takes his drink.
As he takes his drink, I'm going to shape water. I'm going to splash it into his face.
Cool.
I was speaking. Do not interrupt. Oh, man. You've done what you've done. That is lied. We are going to keep doing what we've done. We'll fix this town. You can claim what you will like, but we're going to keep operating. Is that okay, or is the town watch in danger of actually doing something?
I wish you luck.
Are we given license then to keep doing what we're doing?
Of course. I want you to succeed.
Perhaps we could come to an arrangement.
We just have.
Yes. He puts his glass down and goes upstairs.
Leo, Tom Hanks, before you leave, can I just ask what happened to the people you arrested last night? The people that the Town Watch, and I wink while I say that, defeated. In particular, a young man named Willow Crack.
We didn't arrest a Willow Crack.
Hmm.
You mean the boy that was with you?
Yes.
He left when you left.
And the leader of the group?
They're all arrested. They're all in the jail.
And one more question. Sorry, I can tell that this has been difficult for everyone. What about the silver?
The ones that were recorded, the vault, we couldn't find it.
And what would happen if you did?
We would give it to the mining company, and whoever found it would get the reward.
No questions asked?
I'm not the one that set the reward. It was the Blessed Horde Bank that set the reward. I don't care about it. The evidence has been collected. They will face prison.
Sorry, when you say face prison, does that mean like they're going to prison?
There's a trial. There will be a trial.
Oh, okay. When's that?
I don't know. We sent word to Whiteborn. They have the means to have a proper trial.
Oh.
We don't normally have crime syndicates in that we try here.
You gonna send them away? Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's all.
Okay. Telepathic link to you. Do you want us? Maybe we can arrange protection for your family if you're worried about that.
Yes.
I'll work on it. Okay.
Okay.
And he goes back upstairs.
Well,
Hey.
that went okay.
I know. Did you hear he called us adventurers?
Yeah. Do you think he gave us go ahead to go, and he said that he kind of needed us. Do you think he'd be willing to give us some old equipment or like funds?
We could see.
I mean, if I'm happy to go keep on adventuring and do these good deeds if it helps the town, and it doesn't hurt anybody if the town watch gets credit.
Hey, I was thinking last time they took the credit because nobody else knew it was us. Maybe if we're going to keep doing this, and I don't know about you guys, but I feel pretty good about our first real rodeo. And maybe we can make ourselves a bit more visible. Maybe like a uniform or something. And maybe we can bring them in ourselves so then people can see that it's us, that it's the NWA bringing it in. And they don't have a chance to go behind and say, hey, it was us. But when it was us, I mean, them, but us.
I love the idea of a costume.
Yeah, right?
Do you
Yeah, like capes. Or,
do you think
we
it
don't have
puts
to do capes. We could do capes.
a target on our back, though?
Uh-oh.
It's not much of a target. We're not much of targets because we haven't done anything. We take credit for what the town watch has done.
But in some ways, isn't that the best way we do this? And no one knows who we are, so the bad guys don't come after us.
That's true.
Well,
The blame goes to the town watch.
But what of the
We're anonymous.
truth? Does no one care about the truth anymore?
I do.
As they say in the great books, truth is the first casualty of random vigilante justice.
Is that, which book was that? The great one?
Is something I read.
Oh.
But, well, we'll have to think about how we go forward if we're going to work in the darkness and give the credit to people, and if something ever actually bad happened to this town, the town watch can't wipe its own arse without help. Well, we'll see if they can step up to the plate then, but
And what of the gold? I mean, the silver.
we don't know anything about
The gold that we get for the silver.
Well, we don't know where the silver is, do we?
It's upstairs.
So I can talk more quietly. I've been told that before.
Can you...
What do we do about the silver?
to be discussed at a later time.
So are we being secret vigilantes or public vigilantes?
Well, we can keep this ineffectual public face going for a little bit longer, I feel.
What if we have a few more, trial runs to make sure that we work as a team more effective before a target gets put on our back, and then when we're ready to come out of the closet, we come out with costumes and we come out swinging.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, like a pantomime. Lovely. Well, there's been a very productive meeting. I'm going to go up to bed.
Oh.
Feel free to drink whatever you want from the drinks cabinet. Go absolutely crazy. Most of it's Leo's. I'll see you guys in the morning. If you could lock up Tobin, that'd be great.
Sure, I'll see you in the morning. In the shop?
Yes. Do we want to get together for the funeral, perhaps? If we're...
Well, I do think it's the right thing to do. A man has died, and honor must be paid.
Yes, and you need entertainment at a funeral. It's always good to have a group of people who you can point at, laugh at. All right, I'll see you guys in the morning.
See you in the morning. I have something very exciting to show you.
Oh, lovely.
As you head off back to your homes and your different places, your husband, Falarhana, doesn't acknowledge you, just is asleep in bed.
Same.
See Garrett as you head back to the shop with that renewed energy and kind of focus. The one of the few in this group that sees the excitement of potentially more adventure real adventure. And who needs credit anyways? That feeling in your mind, there's a nice rest ahead of you. Tobin, as you head back to the shop, there is a small folded up piece of paper at the door of the shop.
I take it out and unfold it.
The paper says 3 sentences. Mayor Sunwood was poisoned. Check Rainier's files. No one can be trusted.
I take the note and I put it in my pocket, and I look around me to see if there's anyone else on the streets.
Perception check.
A 19.
19? You don't see anyone around you, no. What you do notice with a 19 is as you're folding the paper and you're looking around, as you're about to put it in your pocket, you see the kind of little bit of a flash inside the paper as you fold it.
I recognize this.
Similar to your illusionary script,
Yeah. All right. Did I recognize the handwriting? Did it look familiar at all?
Give me an investigation check.
7.
No. I mean, to be honest, in that it was a brief amount of time and it was there. You read these things, it's whatever it is to you, but no, you didn't.
Great. I open up the door, close it, draw the blinds down, take a look at the note again.
It's empty.
Go up to my loft and sit there for a while.
And Mr. Hanks, as you're heading back to your house, it's been an odd day for you, going all across town. But as you're heading up to your house, it's late in the night, and as you go to unlock your door and step in, you hear from behind you a voice. Mr. Hanks?
Oh, Jesus!
Sorry, didn't mean to scare you, man. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you.
It's all right. Who's there?
As you turn to look, it's Willow Crack.
Oh, my God. Willow, you can talk. Where have you been?
Yeah, sorry. I hope you guys don't get mad. I took some of the money, the silver, and I paid for, I know someone who could help out with a spell of restoration, and I got my voice back. But I wanted to say, I'm skipping town. I don't want to stay here anymore, and I feel like I have the means to go now. And like I don't know what's going on with your group and stuff like that, but you guys, you saved my life, and not those dicks at the town watch. Like, they didn't do anything. I can't believe it. I heard they took credit for what you did. It's like news everywhere, but screw them. You're the ones that should have gotten credit, and I've spread word through the town. I've told everybody that anyone in the Lower Hallows needs help. They should come to the neighborhood watch because they're the real protectors. They really care. I made sure as many people know what you did for me as possible. People like Pith, they never serve time or anything. I know them. And one way or another, he's probably gonna get out, and I'm not gonna be here when he does. But
Willow, thank you. We didn't do it for the glory. We did it for you. And if Pith gets out, if you're not here, we'll be here.
Thanks. I just want to say I took the silver that was down there, but I gave most of it to Mrs. Greystone at the Iron Yak, because she's really good about this stuff, and she knows how to like disperse it really well. And there's a lot of people in the Lower Hallows I'm sure could use it. So I'm sorry if I did that without your permission. I saved a little, and if you really want it, I can give it to you. But I was hoping I could use it so I could get out of town.
Where are you going to go?
I heard there's a good place in Whitebourne. I could probably go with some of my friends.
You could stay. You could join the NWA.
I don't know. The Grey Hand, they know that they saw me there with you guys, and I just don't want to risk it. So I know you locked him up and stuff, but they had everything under control, and I just can't believe that it's over like that. So I'm just gonna head out.
Take the silver, Willow. Don't come back. But promise me that you're going to make something of your life.
I promise, Mr. Hanks. I just want to say thanks.
Thank you, Willow.
And everyone's gonna know about you guys. as he walks off, kind of like with, if you could see the metaphoric chip on his shoulder as he's walking off, just looking at the ground, and he heads off. And with that, as you see him go, we end this episode of What's My Role. Well, there you have it. The Town Watch has stolen credit from our heroes. Hopefully Willowcrack's promise to spread news of the Neighborhood Watch's heroics will have an impact in the Lower Hallows. But was Mayor Sunwood actually murdered? And who wrote that letter on Tobin's door? Find out in the next episode of What's My Role? What's My Role is a proud member of the Arcane Focus Network. Don't forget to subscribe and rate us wherever podcasts are downloaded. It really does help. And be sure to tell your friends about What's My Role. See you next time.